For about 80% of us in Brisbane, religion is a part of our lives. That's according to the last census. But what about at schools? One Brisbane school has suspended its religious instruction program over concerns the instructors were trying to solicit the children to become Christians, to join the faith. The program is called Connect, and it is now being reviewed by Education Queensland. John Thorpe is the Director of Special Religious Education at Youthworks, which is the group that designed the program Connect. Hello, John. Can you tell me what is Connect?
Hi, Emma. Connect is a program for primary age students to engage with religious instruction in schools. So it's a Christian program. Religious instruction is offered for all sorts of different religious groups, but we particularly provide a Christian program.
And is it connected with a particular church?
We're connected in Sydney with the Anglican Church, but it's used right across New South Wales, a significant number of schools in Queensland.
And how many schools in Queensland do use it, John?
Can't really answer that question. It would be quite a number, and particularly in southwest Queensland.
And what does it teach students?
Fundamentally, it's teaching the basic message of Christianity. So the Bible is the primary text of the curriculum, and we want to teach people about what the Bible has to say about who God is and Jesus and why Jesus came to earth and what he taught. And in particular, why did he die on the cross and rise again? And we want students to have an opportunity to explore Christianity and ask questions and to have a genuine engagement with what Christianity is all about.
Now, some parents and the principal have concerns that Connect has been proselytising, that it's been trying to get students to become Christians. Is that what Connect has been doing?
It's certainly not our objective. Our objective is to help students understand the Christian faith. Religious instruction in New South Wales and Queensland is an option for parents. They choose to participate. And so parents have come to the program expecting the Christian message to be taught and have some sort of affiliation with Christianity or want their child to hear about Christianity. So our job is really to provide a service to the parents and give them a clear portrayal of what the Bible has to say about Jesus and God and life and our part in that.
And do any of the instructors talk about the fact that, Jesus will never say no to you, and if you embrace God, then you will be cleansed?
Well, part of the Christian message is, Jesus comes and says to people, follow me. That is, being a Christian is a follower of Jesus Christ. And so that's certainly part of what it means to be a Christian. But in terms of the engagement with the students, we want to present it to them. This is what Christians believe, and they're invited to ask questions, explore, and really decide for themselves what they think about Christianity.
So have you found out that any of your instructors were, using phrases and words that essentially were trying to get students to become Christian? Would you be concerned?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure every teaching environment should be, whether it's RI or English or maths, should be a safe place for people to ask questions without feeling coerced or pushed or manipulated. And if that was happening in class, then we'd be very concerned about that, and we'd want to encourage people and equip people to present the gospel and Christianity clearly without overstepping that relationship where they're pushing students in a way that's unhelpful.
John Thorpe, we've also heard from parents that students were participating in reenactments of David's beheading of Goliath, and these were students as young as 10. Can you understand why some parents would object to that?
Look, the story of David and Goliath is very familiar to most people who would be listeners of this program. But I can understand that, particularly in our time and our culture and the circumstances of our world, that that lesson was unhelpful, and we looked at that and we've reviewed that, and we're constantly looking at our material and saying, does this work appropriately for our context now?
When you say you've reviewed it, have you pulled it out of the curriculum then, the reenactment of a beheading?
We have pulled that one out, and where there's a problem, we inform people as best we can, we replace it as needed, and we're doing a review of all of our curriculum at the moment. Like I said, David and Goliath it's a very well-known story, but in that context, it was a really unhelpful addition, and we accept that, and we'll respond appropriately.
So have you pulled it out for all ages at primary school then?
That particular lesson, yeah.
Now, I've also heard from parents that some students were presented by the instructor with a grey rag and a white rag and told the white rag is Jesus and you were all grey rags because you are sinful. Is that appropriate?
Well, certainly part of the Bible message is that we do sin, that we all rebel against God. The good news of the Bible is that God loves us, that he sent his son Jesus to die for us on the cross and rise again. So whether that's a helpful illustration, perhaps not. Perhaps that's not the most helpful way to explain it.
Well, it sounds quite scary for me if you're a small child and you're being told that you are sinful. Well,
we certainly always want to present ideas in a way that's age appropriate for our students, absolutely. But equally, our students are confronted with a world that's broken, that's complicated, where bad things happen, and talking about that in a way that is helpful and age appropriate, I think is appropriate if it is done well.
And can you tell me at all what the process was of getting permission to deliver instruction in state schools in Queensland?
I'll have to leave that to other people to comment on how religious instruction's been introduced in Queensland. But I understand it's part of your legislation.
And
I understand that a significant majority of parents participate in religious instruction in Queensland. And so it's got a very positive relationship with the community and the schools.
And John Thorpe, the review of the Connect program, what else are you looking at in there and when will that be complete?
Look, we do this periodically. We just go through everything and just ask the question, is this still the best content and the age-appropriate content sensitive for our context now? And so we'll do that over the next little while. I'm not sure if I'm keen to put a date on it, but it's certainly in progress and we'll do it as quickly as possible. And
what in particular has prompted that?
Like I said, it's just something we do periodically anyway. And, when we hear concerns expressed about a particular lesson, then we want to make sure we engage with that, and where we need to, we'll respond. And so that's just part of curriculums developing and evolving over time.
Okay, John Thorpe, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And John is the Director of Special Religious Education at Youthworks, which is the group that designed the Connect program. That program's been suspended at Windsor State School by the principal over concerns that instructors were trying to solicit the children to become Christians. And I'm asking you today, what do you think children should be taught